It's the Unhappy Hour.
That's the one. I think that's the one we're going to use. Well, everybody, if you're listening live, that took just a couple of seconds. And if you're listening after the fact on YouTube or on our homepage, thenewamericanmedia.com, or embedded on Facebook or over on Twitter at American_media_, cool. But this is part of a three-part conversation with NBA consultant, former scout Zak Baris. You can follow him on Twitter. He's at ZBaris. That's ZBARIS. Segment one, we talked about the Ohio State Buckeyes. Improbable. A couple months ago, people thought that the Buckeyes could make it into the top four, into the championship series. And guess what? The Buckeyes are there, along with Oregon, along with Alabama, along with Florida State. We got a shot. We got a shot. We got a shot. And something that we were all excited about as Cleveland Cavalier fans, when Kyrie re-signed, we knew that LeBron was a chance to come over. And as soon as we won the draft lottery, hey, it would have been nice to have Andrew Wiggins, but would we like to have Kevin Love? Absolutely. So the Cavs have started a season this year, not on a very fast, cohesive, dominant. They just haven't been all of those things early on this year, but recently rattled off 7 wins in a row, followed by 2 more losses recently. Zach, you've seen this team already start to take shape, and we've also seen Kyrie almost get injured. People are questioning LeBron's statistics. Is he in decline? There's a lot to talk about here, and I'll let you pick up wherever you want with the Cavs.
I think the Cavaliers are just fine. We saw them reel off 8 straight before they went to OKC and barely lost without LeBron. And last night it was a tough game. You know, for some reason Tyreke Evans had his career night last night, and they lost. But I think they'll be fine. They're back on track. You know, they're right up there. And like I said, it does not matter what happens in the regular season. If they go and they win 52 games this year, then it's 52 wins. They're going to be just fine in the playoffs. They know where they need to be, and they'll be just fine. And I don't think they're going to have a problem. Kyrie's been playing well. Everybody's been starting to click. And I think LeBron, I think, is still trying to get the feel of his teammates. Wait till this roster takes shape. When they go and get a Ray Allen type, or they wind up with, Karolinko or whoever they wind up with, whether it be, there's going to be Tayshaun Prince. Wait till they wind up with someone. Wait till they get their center in place. When this team is fully together, I'm telling you, the rotation's completely worked out. They'll be just fine. They're going to be a power player in the NBA, not just the Eastern Conference. They're going to be one of those teams that nobody's going to want to play come late in the season.
I couldn't imagine ever saying, I'd like to roll the dice with those guys. I couldn't see it either, and they're going to get better, just like the Buckeyes got better this year. Fortunately, it's not like if you have one early season loss, a championship goal is out of reach. It's very different in basketball, a lot more games. And something we saw, a lot more games, LeBron James just now passed Mark Price for most three-pointers in team history. I mean, Mark Price was one of my favorite players growing up. All-star caliber player, really had the ability to make some big plays when they counted. What does it mean to you that LeBron's been able to, after his rookie season shooting, under 30% for the Cavs, now he's hitting three-pointers with a very good consistency like Kevin Love. What does that mean about the player who came in with all the physical abilities, but he really didn't have a refined shot in the beginning? How much better is LeBron these days?
All it takes is hard work and dedication, obviously skill too. But LeBron has all 3 of those, and his work ethic is, second to none. So came in there, he's obviously worked on his 3. It's gotten much better over the years. This is a kid, I remember watching his Oak Hill game, and he started 0 for 8.
And that's what shooters do. Shooters shoot. They just keep going.
Yeah.
Kobe, Michael.
And he's one that's really, he's really progressed as a shooter in his career. It drives me nuts when people tell me LeBron's a crappy shooter. I'm like, have you watched him play?
Yeah, not lately.
I go, he hasn't been a crappy shooter since he was his second or third year in the league.
It's insane. It's absolutely
the guy's
insane.
always had a higher field goal percentage than Kobe Bryant, much higher. Kobe makes some ridiculous shots. So does LeBron. That's what drives me nuts about everything. And, before I don't even want to get involved in the debate, if someone else asks me if Kobe's a better player than Jordan, I'm going to hang up the phone. So the answer to that is Michael Jordan's still the greatest player of all time, because I know it's going to somehow come up. Because I don't give a crap about the Lakers. I don't give a about Kobe Bryant. I really don't. They're completely irrelevant at this point. They stink. They're a horrible roster.
Hey, they had a big win against the Spurs, though. Go figure.
Yeah, I was watching that game last night.
Yeah, go figure.
But, I mean, like I said, Atlanta's playing like I thought they would. I expected a good season out of the Hawks. Most people didn't even predict them to make the playoffs. I predicted them as the 4th seed in the East. Well, right now they've been playing damn good basketball. So I'm glad I had that one up there. I said if they were healthy, they'd be a very, very tough team to beat in the East. Now, I still think they're the regular Atlanta Hawks, but they're still a good basketball team.
Yeah, sitting up there pretty much tied with the Raptors, and I still think of Washington sometimes as the Bullets, by the way. Do you ever do that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, sometimes when I look at their uniforms, those are the old Bullet uniforms.
I still think, the Washington Bullets. Hey, Second Amendment, baby. Call them that. Just use it for self-defense, not aggression.
Second Amendment.
No, but, yeah, what do you make of the Raptors? That team, the Cavs have played them, 3 times in the past 2 weeks?
3 times, and they've beaten them twice.
I mean, but that's a team with a lot of talent. How do you like how they've rebuilt?
They do have a lot of talent. I was at the first one on my birthday when the Cavaliers got crushed, but it was a game the Cavaliers had in their grasps, and I thought that was a game they should have won. And they went to Toronto, just beat the living what out of them, and then they came back here and they beat them again. So I think the Cavaliers will have the Raptors number, especially like I said. Wait for this team to gel even more and get integrated with each other. You're not going to have a problem with Toronto in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the more we pass, the better we do. What do you make of Dion Waiters, by the way? Far.
You know my thoughts on Dion Waiters. I hope the Cavaliers trade him. I hope they're able to move him for some decent pieces rather than just a bunch of junk. But, they do need help, and Dion Waiters I don't think is the answer. Yeah, Waiters is going to put up one of those games where he puts up 35 points here and there 3-4 times a season. But it's not what they need. He's not a team player. I've never been a Dion Waiters fan. I mean, I'll never forget going back here, if you can ever replay the show, going back there, replaying the show from the night the Cavaliers drafted Waiters. You knew I wasn't a fan.
Hey, and all those are online if you go to thenewamericanmedia.com or youtube.com/thenewamericanmedia. Do a search, Dion Waiters, Zak Baris, Brian Engelman, The Unhappy Hour. Take a look. It's all online. It's all archived. We just passed 400,000 video views and almost 2,100 subscribers. So, we're just getting rolling with this, and yeah, it's all out there. And you never have been a fan. It was definitely a move
that I said would cripple the Cavaliers franchise. I thought it would be a move that could cripple the Cavaliers franchise. And like I said, he's done nothing to persuade me against it. Yeah, he's had some big games, but like I said, I'm the first guy at the Cavs getting the bash Dion Waiters. And people go, oh, he's playing well. I'm like, just wait for it. And then by the third quarter, people are like, oh, you were right.
And like
I said, I want to like the guy, but I just can't. Ever since he was training, over at Impact back in Vegas, 3-4 years ago now, and it's just like, I dreaded seeing the guy at practices. He just wasn't, like I said, he was. Like I said, I've gotten into it before with Dion. I hope the Cavaliers trade him. I hope they get some pieces for him, but I don't think he has a ton of value.
Interesting, because there's a lot of talk about him wanting to change his game so that he could get along with LeBron. You haven't seen his game progress.
I hope he does, but I just don't know if he can do it. It's like the thing with Nick Young. Can Nick Young change his game?
Have you seen any improvement from Dion from when he was a rookie to now?
No.
Because at this point, you should probably start seeing progress. So I guess there's probably not much improvement then. Probably zero between when LeBron first got here and now. That's not good.
Like I said, but you never know with Dion. LeBron's helping him out. But like I said, I'm not a believer in Dion. I never have been. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I'm just not a fan of his.
Well, a lot of people are becoming Golden State Warrior fans. 20-2, best record in the bigs.
Steve Kerr's doing a hell of a job down there. I will tell you that. They're a good team, but he's really gotten Klay Thompson on his A game. And when Klay Thompson is good, Draymond Green is fantastic too. Just that whole team. They play good defense. Their offense is spectacular. Everything about them. They're the most fun team to watch in the NBA, and it's not even close.
Hands down, run and gun.
Oh yeah. Kerr's done a fantastic job, like I said, with the Warriors. He's probably going to win Coach of the Year.
Huh. And we're still early into the season. There's a lot of time for these things to change. But, yeah, what is it, a 15-game winning streak? That's you take note of things like that. What is the all-time record? What were the Heat chasing the other year? Do you remember what the...
I think the Knicks were 27 or 33 in a row, I think it was. They won 30. I mean, it was a 30-something game win streak, I remember.
Jeez.
I don't know if it was by the Knicks. I just remember someone won 33 straight or something like that. It was something insane. And Miami's at 20. Like I said, you know when I said the Cavaliers are going up there and they're going to start reeling us in 10, 15-game winning streak? It's going to happen. They've already reeled up an 8-1.
Yeah. They got
I mean,
8.
just wait for it. Just wait for it. It's going to keep happening. You know, they'll win 8 or 9 in a row and then lose 1 or 2 in a row.
Do you think they're using Kevin Love right? Do you think that they're getting him enough touches, that they're designing enough plays?
I think they're starting to get him more involved, if that's what you're asking.
I mean, just having him stand outside and shoot threes, that's not really the best way.
He needs to be playing in the post. Because that's where he's most effective.
Do you think he's most comfortable there?
I think that's where he's most comfortable, too.
All right. Hey, it's early on in the season, and it's rare that you get to witness something like, you know, Michael Jordan in his prime, or, you know, you think of some of the great teams throughout history in different sports, and, you know, the Cavaliers have accomplished nothing yet. We totally understand that. However,
They will.
We will. And LeBron, with all the MVPs and all of the championships and 4 straight appearances in the finals, coming back with a lot of talent around him this time, it's going to be interesting watching how the Cavs put it together. And it's something that you got to just take a step back and realize this is not normal. This is special. We should appreciate and we should enjoy this, because, I mean, hell, remember how bad those 4 years were for the Cavs without him.
Oh, they were miserable. Hey, Brian, I just want to warn you, I've got 10 minutes left to keep going on this one. So, I mean, I just want to let you know I've got 10 minutes total, so however you want to do this.
Yeah, well, you know what, pretty much. I wanted to cover the Cavs and their winning streak. I want to talk about the Warriors, who earned the fact that we should talk about them. We talked about a few in the Eastern Conference. Anybody else have any other storylines you feel like mentioning, from the Grizzlies to the
I think that's about it right now.
Rockets?
I mean, obviously, everything's basically gone to prediction this year. I mean, Memphis is good, San Antonio's good. The Lakers are as bad as we expected. The Knicks are terrible. I said that one. The Celtics are bad. You know, everything. I mean, I think the only real surprise right now is how bad the Hornets are.
How surprised are you they're that bad?
I'm not surprised they're bad. I'm surprised they're this bad.
Hey,
I mean, I'm very surprised. I thought they had a very solid team. I was expecting solid improvement out of Cody Zeller, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. I expected Lance Stevenson to be a nice piece, and he's just been horrendous.
Well,
I mean, he's shooting like 30%.
You also thought that the 76ers were going to be probably winless at this point. They've rattled off 2.
Oh, I did. They won 2 games. You know, they're exceeding my expectations. But do I still think they win 10 games this year? It's tough.
Yeah, who was it? Magic Johnson just came out and said that, you know, the Lakers are going to stink. I hope they lose every single game from here on out. You know, finish the rebuild.
That's what I've been saying all along. I mean,
it is.
This isn't a surprise. I mean, this is exactly what you can hope for. You hope the Lakers suck. You hope they get the 6th pick in the draft so it doesn't go to Phoenix. They can get an impact player at 6. They did last year with Julius Randle. And you go out there and you have to make way for after, you know, life after Kobe Bryant. And you got to get this roster set up so you can start attracting free agents again in 2 years. Nobody's going to want to come and play for a 10-win Laker team. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, but they're the Lakers. Yeah, but they're the Lakers, man. They're the Lakers. They're like the best.
Yeah, look at the Knicks.
Yeah, well,
Carmelo's the only one who wants to play there, and they're a 4-win team. They're 4-20.
And he's getting in fist fights with
I'm sorry, 5-20. 5-20. I take that back.
Hardaway, right? He's getting into arguments with Hardaway in the locker room.
I mean, the Knicks are just a disaster. And that was why I said Phil Jackson should just let Melo walk.
I think you're right on that. It would have been a rough beginning, but someone like Phil Jackson has earned the right to dump the cargo and then rebuild the ship as he sees fit as captain.
If he wanted to, you know, like I said, if Melo was willing to trade, you know, use his no trade clause, I'm sure. And if this keeps happening and keeps going, Melo will eventually do it. He has to do it to save his career.
It's interesting. I'm so glad the Cavs ended up with LeBron James instead of Carmelo Anthony. So happy about that.
You know, they would have lost Melo after that time anyway. I mean, who knows? It would have changed the entire landscape of the NBA. What if the Detroit Pistons would have wound up with Carmelo? We could always do a bunch of what ifs. If they would have wound up with Carmelo, I mean, they could have had 3 titles out of it. I mean, that was all they needed was a score. They were a dominant basketball team that couldn't score.
How do you think the Cavs' defense is going to shape up this year? You think we're going to get any better?
I think they will get better. I think they still need to acquire a center. I think that's the biggest thing. They still need to acquire a center, and they still have some pieces. Here's the thing. Let's go say you had Tayshaun Prince. There you go. You're getting a solid defender right there. Let's just say this Dion Waiters trade were to happen. You do trade Kosta Koufos and Tayshaun Prince for Dion Waiters. Okay, there you go. You're getting good defense out of Tayshaun Prince as a backup, and allows you Koufos as that center you need, and he's very solid when he plays. You got to get him more minutes, but I think that can be a very nice trade for the Cavs. I don't love it, but because Waiters' value is so minimal for being the fourth pick in the draft a few years ago. But like I said, it's a team that I think could help improve the Cavaliers roster, relatively soon.
And what do you make of Andrew Wiggins this year as we're playing the what-if game?
He's been very average. I mean, nothing about me. I mean, he's had a couple of impressive games, but do I think he's the next LeBron after watching him? No. Do I think he's a superstar? No. Do I think he can be a very good player in this league? Yeah, but do I ever think he's going to be a superstar and the Cavs will really regret giving him up? No.
So in hindsight, at least early going, no regrets going after Kevin Love. And Kevin Love came out and said, I want to be here. Let me put these Lakers rumors and everything to rest. This is where I intend to be for a very long time. Do you think it was pretty important for him to kind of squash that and just get it out of the way?
Yeah, I think it was. I think he did the right thing. I think he was all in the right corner doing what he did. And another thing is, too, is I think Jabari Parker was just a much better fit in Milwaukee than Wiggins would have been, especially with Antetokounmpo over there in that roster. Milwaukee also has some solid NBA players on the roster. Jabari went in as a nice fit there. I think Wiggins would have been a nice fit in Cleveland, but at the same time, if the Cavaliers could have given, those guys up without having to, given some other guys up without having to get Love, I don't know if Tristan Thompson's had some really seconds. I don't know where the Cavaliers would be without Tristan this season, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, so but Tristan and Andy are not enough at the center position.
No,
not enough down low.
Because like I said, I've reiterated this 1,000 times on the show, Andy is not a center. He's a power forward. Tristan is better out playing the five, but they still need a true rim protector. They still need a guy who can go and block shots, get rebounds. Thompson is fantastic, but Thompson is a power forward. So is Anderson Varejao. They need to get a center on that roster. And they're going to do it. It's just a matter of time. If they would have been able to get Mozgov, he's having a huge year. It's going to just take more to get him than it would have earlier in the season.
Interesting. Well, it is nice to see the Cavs right at the, not at the top of the standings quite yet, sitting at number 5 at 13-9, 3.5 back of the Raptors. But Cavs are hands down playing much better basketball than the beginning of the season. It's just still surprising to me that the Cavs can have this huge drop off, and everybody's comparing LeBron's numbers this year. How many dunks does he have? What's his field goal percentage? What's his assist average? That all of his numbers are down.
The numbers don't make a difference. It all translates to wins. It really does. Numbers do not make a difference. They really don't. As long as it translates to wins, that's all that matters. I mean, that's all I care about, and that's all the common fan should care about. You can't look there and start checking stats every night going, oh, LeBron put up 18, 9, and 9. Okay, the Cavaliers won, but he didn't put up enough points. Who cares? I mean, honestly, stat checking is the most pointless thing ever. A lot of it all matters on efficiency. How did he get those 18 points? Did he go 5 for 5 shooting and he got all the other points in the line? Or did he go, 6 for 24 in shooting and put up 18 points? There's a huge difference. It all matters about efficiency. It doesn't matter how many points you put up. It's a matter of how efficient you are getting those points. And that's what makes the biggest deal. It's shooting percentage doesn't even matter that much. It's true shooting percentage which makes the biggest deal. It makes the biggest difference.
And here's what's going to make the difference. What we're going to do is we're going to press pause. We're going to make a hard pivot, and we're just going to give a quick Browns and Manziel update here as we get ready to say goodbye to Zak Baris. He's a lifelong NBA fan, lifelong Cleveland sports fan, former NBA scout, and current NBA consultant. You can follow him on Twitter. He's at ZBaris. That's ZBARIS. Make sure you're following us. We're at American_media_. YouTube.com/The New American Media. Click subscribe. Facebook, do a search for The New American Media with spaces in between and like the page. And check out our homepage, thenewamericanmedia.com, where on the right-hand side it says TNAM Radio, and that's where you listen live. You just click play whenever we decide to do the show. So we're going to make a quick... we're going to flip the script for just a moment over here, and we're going to talk about Johnny Manziel, the Colts' disappointment, looking forward to the Bengals game, what the Browns' chances are to make the playoffs, and more on the other side, here on the Unhappy Hour.
It's the Unhappy Hour.